Fred is back there. But, yeah.
Fred is back here. Fred. One of my favorite one of my favorite TikTokers who is a librarian, laser librarian on TikTok. She has these to-do lists, and I just want to tell y'all, I finished my to-do list. I have one more thing I need to upload this week's video because I had so much fun doing this today. This is my first time doing one of these to-do lists, like actually physically writing one. I did a lot. Yeah, I do have to get the video. That's a big one. This is what I found. Several pineapples on this that came from things on the ground, but part of the land or something. Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. The theme of this week's vlog is reading the shortest romance book on my TBR according to Goodreads, but let's look at that weekly TBR. First, I will be starting my days with Devotions by Mary Oliver. This is basically her greatest hits collection. I'm not sure if this came out after she passed away or not, but she's most definitely known for her nature poems. She sees the world how it's supposed to be seen. Now, what is the shortest romance book on my TBR according to Goodreads? That is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I am going to be reading this on my Kindle, but I do want to tell y'all the description of the book and how it is written. The description is so cute. 2 weeks before Christmas and all through Manhattan, shop windows are decorated in red, green, and satin. Stella is standing alone outside a famous department store when a charming man asks her opinion on the decor. It is a tragedy in tinsel, she says, unable to lie. Then he asks for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. She didn't know he owned the place when he put her on the spot, and now she's working for that man, trying to ignore that he's hot. But as a down-on-her-luck girl with a difficult past, Stella knows how to make a good opportunity last. So she gives it her all, working without stopping, trying to resist temptation because she's just window shopping. This is what our main focus is going to be this week. Next, we have my mood read. I don't really know how well it's going for me, but I'm almost at the halfway point, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. You're supposed to go into this book knowing next to nothing. I'm going to read one paragraph of the description to y'all. Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite, its corridors endless, its walls are lined with thousands upon thousands of statues, each one different from all the others. Within the labyrinth of halls, an ocean is imprisoned. Waves thunder up staircases, rooms are flooded in an instant, but Piranesi is not afraid. He understands the tides as he understands the pattern of the labyrinth itself. He lives to explore the house. I don't think that gives away too much. I didn't read this before reading the book, and now I'm like, maybe I should have, but now reading that, I think I'm fine. Next we have my ebook, which is a chunker, and that's Wayward by Chuck Wendig. This is post-apocalyptic at this point. The world, at least America, has experienced white mask, which was a plague, a pandemic. Hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million people have died, and now we're seeing how society emerges after something like that. And those are the books that I'm reading this week. Now it's 1:34 in an hour. We're heading to the vet. The cats are going to get, well, he's getting his vaccines. Bud is just getting her teeth and yearly checkup. I've never taken 2 cats before, but I'm taking my kitty children, and hopefully it's going to go well. They're also going to get to go to Chick-fil-A. Bud has been to Chick-fil-A before. Fred has been to McDonald's, but he's never been to Chick-fil-A. I think it's going to be a great experience for him. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I actually do think I can get to devotions. I originally didn't think I'd be able to get to that today. And then I need something to drink. I'm thirsty right now. That's what we're going to do. But look at my outfit today. Isn't it so cute? I feel like a princess. I love this color combo. The hair and makeup turned out really cute. I am feeling good today. I do need to put my jewelry on still. And also on a sadder note, we are getting Penny's ashes back today at the vet. They have them. We are going to pick those up as well. It's been a week without her, which has been really hard. But as I said at the end of last week's vlog, every day gets better. And it is just, I think everything in life, I know some people are being like, no, it doesn't. Because there are people, everybody has a different outlook on life. But for me, I'm a glass half full kind of person. So I do think everything does get better with time. Obviously, there's going to be a part of my soul that's gone from Earth forever. But that's how life works. Life and death, that's how it works. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. It's inevitable. And it's hard, as I said, but you get through it. And then you just start to remember the good times. So there's that update. Fred is in this backpack. Ugh. And now, at 3:47, we are home. We did get lunch, and they had a good checkup. Ugh. I don't even know if y'all can see him. Oh, he jumped out. Okay. Good checkup. I'm gonna go eat lunch now. And we got Penny's remains back. I am sorry that the lighting has been wonky, because when I was recording that bird this morning, I must have hit stuff and changed settings on it. I don't know what I was doing. Oh my gosh, I left my notes all the way back here. I got to like 19%. It says like 23% on the Kindle, but on all the apps it says like 19%. But I read 48 pages. I'm proud of that, since this is my only reading sprint for this book today, since the vet appointment was at 3. We are going to go through the notes. Okay, in romance books, these authors come up with the weirdest sayings. Now, obviously I know what this means, but okay. We have Stella as, like, I think she compares herself to a roadblock in front of the store. So this guy who's walking around, somebody being slow, he accidentally bumps into her, and she's like, needle dick. Who randomly says needle dick? Like, I've never heard that before. And for it just to be like, because most people would be like, I'm not going to say the real word, but like, a-hole. Like, where do romance writers come up with these like quirky insults? Which I don't think Stella is quirky, but where does that stuff come from? Back to our character of Stella. She is a girl with a prison record. I was not expecting that at all, and I'm hoping it's not like a crime where, well, it says it's a crime she doesn't deny. I was so scared it was gonna be like, I was stealing money to help my family and I ended up in jail. Like, I didn't want it to be something like that, where she was doing something like doing something good, like, you know, like Robin Hood. I wanted it to be something where, yeah, I like how she doesn't deny that she committed a crime. Like, I like that. That's something different. Or having a prison sentence, being a felon. I wasn't expecting that for a romance. For a Christmas romance, that was not expecting that. That's something different, and I do like it. We get to chapter 2, which is Aiden's perspective. He is our main character in the book. I like that we're having dual perspective. I think that just adds so much to a romance book. He's a very happy-go-lucky guy, and I appreciate that. Once again, I like a happy-go-lucky guy. They are kind of the golden retriever, black cat, grumpy sunshine. She is a self-proclaimed goth girl. Don't know if she's still goth. Kind of looks it. And he's, I mean, look at him. As I said, he's a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. I like him. We love when men are like that. As you know, on the back of the book, he does hire her to fix their window display. He might be from the Olean family, but I do think that's going to be our third act breakup, is that the higher ups in the company, like the investors and everything, and maybe even his family members, I don't know if they're alive or not, I think all those people are gonna be like, no, we cannot have a convicted felon on our staff. I think that's gonna be the third act breakup. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I despise third act breakups, but knowing contemporary romance, there's going to be one. There's a formula to things. And if you don't like love at first sight, I mean, I struggle, because I'm somebody who I believe in it, and I do think you meet somebody, you know you're compatible with that person. It's happened to me. I know it. Like, I'm not going to say it's happened romantically, but I will just like make eye contact with somebody and I'm like, whoa. And then I go look at our astrology compatibility and it's through the roof. It is a real deal thing. So it's something that I personally do believe in, and I don't think in here it's too bad with like the insta love, insta attraction, whatever. I do think it is done well and not over the top. We go into chapter 3. There's an elevator scene. He is like, I may seem nice, but I can be rough when I want to be. Where did that come from? It didn't read like him at all from all this other stuff that we've got. It was just so out there, out of left field, so random. And again, I did make note of this is an opposites attract kind of romance, goth girl, preppy. Why does he kind of look like Bill Nye? Be happy-go-lucky kind of guy. That is the update on Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I got to over the halfway point in Piranesi. I am at 55%. We are going to go over my notes, and also I know 50% is halfway. I'm just saying I got to 55%. Random, but if this was adapted, I don't know if it's going to be or not. I don't look that kind of stuff up until I finish, but sometimes there are books where it's like everybody knows it's being adapted. For the other, I'm casting Tobias Menzies. Y'all know I love Tobias Menzies so much. I don't know if it's his agent or him. I don't know who chooses the roles that he's in, but he knows how to be on a good show. Fantastic actor. That's who I'm picturing as the other. But sometimes I kind of picture Dominic West. That vibe. Oh, Dominic West played the son of Tobias Menzies. Like, not directly, but The Crown, if y'all get what I'm saying. Yeah. And then on page 68, I'm having a lot of theories of what this actually is. Because this could be just some guy in the endless walls and in a house where there's an enclosed ocean. We talked about that. It could straight up be that. But with my logical mind, I have to be coming up with theories. I'm like, what if this is a representation of addiction and what it does to a person? We have Piranesi, who has kind of memory problems. I think it's a bit of losing himself. Maybe the longer he's in this addiction, the more he loses himself, and he's so focused on that addiction that the outside world doesn't matter, and he's this narrow tunnel vision on his addiction that everything else on the outside just does not matter to him anymore, and therefore he forgets it. I don't know, but that is one theory that I have had. I also think this could be, I talked about in last week's vlog, that this could be some kind of science experiment, and all these other people, I'm not sure if they're actually people or not, if they were all failed experiments and Piranesi's is the current one. Another theory, this is all a simulation. Life itself could be a simulation. No, I do have that thought, like, with like God, he is playing Sims. We Are the Sims. That has nothing to do with that, but have y'all ever had that thought before? Now, this is a thought that was like a 3 a.m. post Super Bowl thought that I had last night. I didn't read this yesterday, but as you can tell, I've been thinking a lot about this book. What if Piranesi represents humanity and how humanity doesn't remember where we came from? And as humans go on, we forget our history. The longer that we exist, the longer that we're here on Earth, think of just all the forgotten history that there is. There's so many unanswered questions. If you look really back at like the start of civilization and that kind of thing, we don't really know where as humans we came from. And I think, and even with history in general, people turn a blind eye to it, and not realize where we came from, and that's why cycles happen. Now, this one I can't go into specifics of because I do think it would be a bit spoilery, but what if all this is in his head and this is a coping mechanism? As I only say with my Piranesi thoughts, I don't know. I have no idea what is going on. I cannot wait for the end of the book. This could be an open-ended ending where I won't get any answers, but that's okay too, because I love a good Reddit thread, and this book is so popular that I'm sure there are plenty of Reddit threads that I can read about it. Because I Who Have Never Known Men, 5-star book, love it, open-ended ending left for the reader to interpret. I do think this could do that, and I think that's why I was kind of drawn to do this as a mood read, because I've heard that just go in not knowing anything, and that's what drew me to this book. Now, is it a 5-star reading experience? At the moment, no. But like with I Who Have Never Known Men, that doesn't mean anything. It's not over till it's over. We will have to see where Piranesi goes and where my thoughts go with it. Happy Tuesday. It's time to do my update on window shopping. I literally read 100 pages. Probably could have even read a little bit more. This is quick to get through, even though some of the chapters are quite long, but let's go into the notes. The first one is that Aiden, our male main character, is too perfect in the physical sense and in the like personality sense. Literally, there's no flaws in him whatsoever. He's like, I'm a nice guy. You think I'm too nice, but I'm rough in the bedroom. Like, I don't care. There's nothing wrong with being too nice, but he's too perfect. And it seems like they're self-aware of that. It's a really confusing time. I was really scared the female main character, Stella, was going to be too perfect, but no, it's actually the guy. Again, nothing wrong with him. Like, I don't hate him, but I just think he's too perfect. And his thoughts, or his tangents, his Aunt Edna stories, he's like, you actually like my Aunt Edna stories? It's so repetitive. It goes on and on, where I basically just skim through them. Yeah, I am skimming, I should say, at this point, because if it's like a quarter of the way in and I am not loving a book, I'm probably going to skim. And with his tangents, I'm not here for that. I don't care. That sounds so rude. But his chapters do tend to be on the longer side because of said tangents. We talked about the attraction at first sight, love at first sight. We talked about that yesterday, and we talk about it a lot with romance books because it is something that is quite common. And again, we talked about my thoughts yesterday. With this, there's no building. It's like they are attracted to each other. I mean, this is all, I read 100 pages. They've known each other like a week. You believe that you can be attracted to somebody right off the bat. I think that's usually how it works. You're like, oh, he's cute, she's cute, whatever, whichever character we're talking about. That's just natural. If there's people you're attracted to, people you're not attracted to, and that is usually what gets you interested into a person at first. Now, of course, there are other instances of once you get to know somebody personally, you're like, oh, I wasn't attracted to you at first, but now that I know you, I'm into you. But there is no building whatsoever. It's like they're attracted to each other, and now they're thinking, oh my gosh, I think I might love her. And sure, that does happen in the real world, but no, there's no building from that attraction to actually having those feelings. It's so sudden and abrupt. I wish there was more building. And as like the third act breakup is incoming. I know it. But it seems like with that situation, Aiden was able to handle himself and did something about it. I'm still, I don't believe we're out of the clear. We're still in the third act. Stuff could go down. I'm still scared about that. And for the tropes, I do also want to add workplace and forbidden romance because he is her boss. And that is something that was kind of annoying me in some scenes where he just is like, there's the power dynamics, and he's so concerned about that and so worried about that. Like, that's great. I love that a man is actually being like, oh my gosh, what if she feels like she has to sleep with me because I'm her boss? Especially in the times we live in. But it's so annoying reading that over and over. We get it. He's nervous. Both of them have not been with anybody for a long time because he hasn't been with anybody since before COVID, and he's a businessman, entrepreneur, very busy. She was in prison, so she's not been with a man in a very long time. Like, we get it. Y'all are nervous. But with Aiden, it's so annoying. Where I'm like, I don't need to read this over and over. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, this one is fine. I'm happy for them. We'll just have to see where it goes. It's Wednesday, but as I only show y'all the ambience, I don't know how I've come to fireplaces, because I usually, like in the fall time, I was doing outdoor noises, but it seems like a lot of the Valentine videos are fireplaces. So this is Deep Sleep with Valentine's Day Fireplace from Cozy Town on YouTube. I finished reading Window Shopping. I read 94 pages in there today, so I've read over 100 pages today. That's super exciting. We are going to go through Call Pal for this book. Another one where I feel like I might be being a little rough, but since it says so bad, since it is such a popular author, I don't feel as bad as I did with the last book, because that one was like might have been like independently published. I felt bad. But that reviews is constructive criticism. I'm not like straight up roasting, at least I don't think I am. With the characters, we will start with the character of Stella. I like the idea of her, but I never felt a connection to her. She surprised me. She wasn't what I expected, and she is almost a breath of fresh air for the genre. There's not a whole lot of characters like her, the goth girl, felon. I don't really see that much in the romance genre. That was something that was new to me, but I never felt an emotional connection towards her. Then we have Aiden, who is our male main character, and I like him. He's the golden retriever, black cat golden retriever. I mean, I think that even just looking at them, you can tell. He was too perfect physically, perfect personality-wise. There was just nothing wrong with him, and that was unrealistic to me. As I said, I didn't dislike him. I think he's a good dude. I just think it's a bit unrealistic, because even the flaws where she's like, he only says to be my hero, I don't think he is even setting out trying to be her hero, because that would be one thing, but I don't think he's doing that. I'm going to give the characters a 2 because they didn't do a whole lot for me, as I didn't feel a connection for them. The atmosphere was really good. If you want the Hallmark Christmas movie vibe, you're going to get that here. New York City Christmas time, I've never experienced it in person, but you do have that magical and that adrenaline in that week leading up to Christmas of making sure that you have everything right, that you got everything that you need, and preparing for the big day. You're gonna get those vibes. So I thought that was really good. We're gonna give that a 4-star. Writing is where I am feeling conflicted, and it's making me want to do a 2, because when I feel conflicted between 2 ratings as being a 2 or 3, I feel like I have to go with the lower number, because if it was good, why am I thinking that it might not have been? Basically, with Aiden's chapters, once again, so many, well, even he could be telling Stella something in one of her chapters. He goes on these long tangents that are just so long to read from, that don't really add anything to the story. I think it's him just trying to calm somebody down, calming her down. that he tells her these funny stories, but I'm like, okay, I don't care. I don't care about your aunt. I'm sorry. And when we go to his chapters, his POV, because towards the end of the book, we'll get a chapter that has both POVs. When we have his POV, it's just so long-winded. And again, for somebody who I think is so perfect, I wish there was a little more substance to that if we're gonna have this long-windedness. I will give the writing a 2-star. Plot is interesting because, as I said, I do think this was unique with the character work, but this is plot I'm talking about plot, so we don't need to have that character work in there. As you can see, I had a lot of plot tabs that it was predictable. I will say it was predictable. Plot points were an eye roll, over dramatic. Gosh. And with the romance itself, there was no building. We had an attraction straight to romances, sudden, jolted upon. I don't see the romance between these two lasting. I think it's just so new for the both of them. For him, I think it could work out, but from her standpoint, I think she's gonna grow and be like, that was that. It was a stage, but not her long time relationship. This all sounds rough, if I'm being honest with y'all. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was predictable and lacked building. So me not hating it, it's not a 1-star. So again, is it a 2-star? Is it a 2-star? And then intrigue, as I said, very predictable. That will be a 2. Logic, 3. Enjoyment, it gave 3-star vibes, if I'm being honest. This is going to be a low rating. Let's do the math. It's getting a 2.5. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad book in any way, and that is leading more towards, it is a good book, but it's not a new favorite. And this is the book that made me realize maybe romance books need to be longer. Like, I would prefer it to be in the 350 page range to just add more development to the characters and have more time to build the relationship, which I think it could have been done here. I meant to say there's a lot of telling, not showing. I always get that confused, where it's like they're in love and I'm like, okay, how did this happen? There's not a lot of showing us this relationship developing. That's my review for window shopping. Now I have to go like actually write a review. What time is it? Okay, 7:05. Yeah, I have time. But that is the review for Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. At the time was the shortest romance book on my TBR according to Goodreads. Hey guys, happy Thursday. It's the last day of the vlog. I got to the 25% mark in Devotions by Mary Oliver, and this is very much like 4-star vibes. I am loving it, but sometimes when I read poetry, I'm like, okay, how memorable is it actually going to be? And that's why I'm saying like 4 rather than a 5. I am just going to share one that I bookmarked, and it was actually the last one. That's what I'm going to be doing with the updates in this book, just reading the most recent one that I bookmarked. It's really the last line that really made me want to save this poem, because it's just so true when you lose somebody. This one is called "We Should Be Well Prepared." The way the plovers cry goodbye, the way the dead fox keeps on looking down the hill with open eye, the way the leaves fall and then there's the long wait, the way someone says we must never meet again, the way mold spots the cake, the way sourness overtakes the cream, the way the river water rushes by never to return, the way the days go by never to return, the way somebody comes back but only in a dream. So that is the one that I highlighted. But this is something that I've been wanting to do like all week, and I think I'm finally going to do it. Shelf here, this is just a random assortment of books. They're just here. I picked books that would fit on this little dish rack shelf thing that I have. It's not a 10 out of 10 recommendation to do this. I saw it on TikTok and that's why I did it. But you have to have the perfect book to fit on there, or else they fall. As you can see, there are some empty spots because books fell. It's not a foolproof method. I wish that it was. I haven't found a way to perfect it. It might all look good for about a month and then the books start falling. They don't tell you that on TikTok. Or maybe I'm just awful and don't know how to do it, because that is a possibility too. I'm really bad at doing things. But I want to put the books that are like high priority for me right now, books that I really want to read, that I can do as mood reads or save for my July TBR, because July is really just when I read what I want to read. I don't go in with a real strict TBR, because a lot of these months, like right now, February, I'm reading romance books. That's what our TBR is looking like. So I do want to put mood reads that are books that I really want to read on this, and we are going to do that now. I have the books. Okay, I can't really do this and show my face. First one is Monstrilio by Gerardo Simona Cordova. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Please work out. Please work out. Okay, we're taking down The Princess in the Tower by Alison Weir. And these books I'm just, you know, exchanging them from where they were. We have Lapvana by Otesha Moshfegh. Is this a good spring book? Do y'all know? When I see lambs, I think of spring. I don't know if that really means anything though. So we are going to take off The Living Sea. Waking Dreams by Richard Flanagan. Now we have The Hum by Helen Phillips. Yeah, the book of the month. Fuck! Y'all! See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh gosh, that was scary. I hope none fell back there. Like, how does that happen? Why does it work for people on TikTok and not for me? So we're gonna try it right here and see how that works. Sorry for the swearing, by the way, but like, I think I'm allowed to swear there. Please work. This one fell off. It's called But the Girl by Jessica Zahn May Yu. Probably mispronouncing that. Britney Spears wanted me. My friend read it recently, and so I'm gonna read it. I don't know what he thought about it, but please stay. So it's like, do I need to be removing these now? Probably not, but Dead in Long Beach, California by Vanita Blackburn. I am going to clean these more, but just for the sake of time and video. Lastly, this one I really started thinking about last night. It is The Hounding by Zenabi Purvis. When I bought this book down at Main Street Reads in Summerville, South Carolina, one of the girls working there was like, have you read I Who've Never Known Men? I was like, no. She was like, it's a very similar vibe. And I did end up reading I Who Have Never Known Men last month and loved it. So that's why this is getting put higher up on the list. Right there. Do y'all think this is gonna stay up? Do y'all think that's gonna work? I know that looks like really ugly right now, so we can probably put some of these back over here and hope that it works out. This is scary. Yeah, I don't know if one will fit on the top or not. Look at that. Okay. Can we slide this guy in right there? Okay, so now I have open spots on my bookcase where those books were, since I was able to fit those down there. I can still fit one book on the mood read, and it would probably be Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. I just don't know now if that will work out. I would probably have to move But the Girl, because I feel like Sky Daddy's probably on the bigger side, because it is a book of the month book, but it is, I feel like, thicker as well. Probably about that size. I don't know what to do. But we'll have to see, because y'all only see this in the background of my videos, so you'll find out. Wow, it is super bright in here, which we love. It is warm outside. The temperature, that came out so wrong. It says it's 58, but in the sun, and since I am in long sleeve, well, I was in long sleeves yesterday and cold, but it feels nice. And I will be reading outside, but we are going to be starting a new book today. We are going to be going to my nonfiction pick of the month. I am going to be reading it on my Kindle because it is available on Kindle Unlimited, and I do want to use my subscriptions. So this book was a gift to me by my grandmother, so it's not a book that I would typically go to, but if I get a book as a gift, especially for my grandmother, because like my dad is like, if you don't want it, you can unhaul it, which when he buys me books, they are from my Amazon wish list, but he occasionally will buy me a random one. And he's fine with it, but like with certain people, I'm like, yeah, I do want to like get to the book, because my grandma will ask me, even though like I doubt she remembers giving me this book, because I don't know if she's read it or not. She got it at a yard sale, and or maybe it was like at the thrift store or something, but it says like to Barbara, and her name is Barbara, but as I said, she got this secondhand, so she thought that was really cool. So I'll probably give it back to her if I don't end up liking it. But even if I do, I might just bring it over to her house and be like, remember when you gave me this book years ago? I finally read it. It's actually not that long. It's about 300 pages, which, I mean, that does not look like it. But this is Theodosia Burr Alston, Portrait of a Prodigy by Richard N. Cote. I never know how to pronounce the O's with the little triangle thing above it. I don't know what that's called. In all the languages I learned, which is Spanish and German, they didn't have that. Or at least the words I learned in it. But let me tell y'all what this book is about. From her birth into Aaron Burr's illustrious New York family and her childhood amidst the leaders, the rich, and the famous of the new nation, to her marriage to Joseph Alston, a South Carolina slave-owning aristocrat, her voyage down the Ohio River to become the Empress of Mexico, that's the part I find most interesting, and her tragic and mysterious disappearance at sea. This is the true story of Theodosia Burr Alston. For Vice President Aaron Burr, providing his little girl with an extraordinary education was much more than just a lifelong obsession. By the time she could walk, Burr had envisioned an incredible goal for Theodosia and crafted a master plan to achieve it. He was not interested in turning out just a smart, pretty girl, a father's pride, or a husband's delight. Burr was not a petty theorist. He was a brilliant, passionate, egotistical visionary on skill that made the gods cringe. Theodosia was not trained to serve her home or plantation. From her first breath of life, she was groomed and educated to become a female Aaron Burr and take her intended station in life, nothing less than a president, queen, or empress. From the letters she exchanged with her father, husband, and friends emerges the portrait of an amazing woman and a true American prodigy. So that sounds really interesting, because that is very different from a lot of women of her time, where her father was, again, making like a female version of him. I'm kind of thinking Tywin with Cersei. There's a lot that we could go into with that relationship, but this is going to be interesting to see all about her life story. And there's all these random little things. I just saw there's a postcard, and then there's another little one. But I'm going to start this now, and I get to read outside. It is time to do the nightly update, and that is on Theodosia by Richard N. Cote, whatever his last name is. Sorry for not knowing how to say it. I only read 42 pages. The next chapter is 1 hour and 11 minutes long, according to my Kindle. See, it gave me chills, because that's scary. We don't like long chapters, and that's why it's taken me... It's probably going to take me, I'm going to say about 8 days to finish this book. We will actually see how that goes. It's going to be fun to see. If it's going to take me 8 days, I will write down 8 days, ? And we will see where that ends up going. Now, I have a couple notes, not that many, because again, I only read 2 chapters and 42 pages. I read 10%, I think is what it said. But Aaron Burr, he loved being a father. He like really loved his daughter. At least it seems that way, because these people lived, what was it? This is 250 years of America. But for what this seems like, he really loved his daughter. I'm like, oh my gosh, he seemed like such a nice guy. Like, I don't want to say nice guy, but getting an education for his daughter. Then we're going to get to something in a little bit. But with her ancestors, because that first chapter is really introducing of where she came from. Her father's family, her mother's family, but really her father's family is who we're getting a lot of emphasis on. And they very much greatly valued education. 2 of her ancestors were presidents at the University of New Jersey, which is now Princeton. And it wasn't just the men who were getting education, but women as well. There's actually a point in the book where in I don't remember exactly what year it said, but that Theodosia was probably the most educated woman in America at one point in her life. But yes, her family very much valued education. They really started out with like religion going, but back in the colonial times, even before America became an official country, that those two things, religion and schooling, were really put together. One of the few things I learned in my American history class, but we're not going into that here. But with her father, he really kind of threw religion aside. He did really enjoy reading the Bible, but he was a deist, I think is what it said. Not an atheist, but a deist, and apparently a lot of the founding fathers were like that. I don't know exactly what that means. I think it's kind of like agnostic, maybe, but I really don't know. That's something I do have to research. But I was really shocked just to see that her family did value education for both genders. Because I thought, by just reading the back of the book, I was like, okay, she's his only kid and he doesn't have a son, so he probably is putting all of what he would do for his son onto Theodosia. But she actually did have half siblings. People always get half and step confused. Half is you share a parent, blood related, and then step is like you share different parents, but your parents married each other. So like your mom could have married this other random guy and he had kids, and then your mom had kids with your father, and then when you get married, or when they get married, that's step. I don't know why I'm explaining that. But I see it a lot that people get that confused, and it kind of annoys me. I saw it a lot with the House of the Dragon fandom, and I'm like, are y'all dumb? But a lot of people who watch that show do not have good literary skills. But that's besides the point. Once again, we go into chapter 2, and this is where it's like, oh, this is how Aaron Burr is. But he's a young man. He did very well in school, as we've talked about. The families very much value education. He's a bit of a ladies' man. He's a rambunctious kind of guy. Like he gets up to, like, even as a little boy, he got into mischief. There was one story where he got up in a tree and was throwing cherries at an old lady. That's bad, but it's kind of funny. He liked his drink. He liked to party. Your typical college guy. I thought he was just gonna grow out of this, but at one point when he is wanting to join the military, George Washington, it's kind of like, I don't think so. Like, he refused him something. Later on into the war, into the American Revolution, Aaron Burr gets promoted to like a colonel, I think. He sends George Washington a letter not saying thank you or anything like that. He says he's so disgusted that he didn't get this promotion sooner, and that so many times Washington looked over him and promoted other people, therefore making, kind of a one-sided. Aaron Burr makes George Washington his enemy for the rest of his life. Crazy. But something that I'm really having a hard time with, especially with Theodosia's mother's family, they all have like Theodosia, another Theodosia. There's a lot of the same names. And again, going back to House of the Dragon, people are like, there's so many Aegons! Like, yeah. And I always tell people, well, that's how it was back then. And now it's biting myself in the butt or whatever. And I'm like, they all had the same name. And I'm so confused reading it, because we had, I think, a lot more building on Aaron Burr, but obviously Aaron Burr was a man. We have a lot more, and he was in high roles. He was vice president. There's a lot more information on him than there would be on Theodosia's mother. And Theodosia's mother is like 10 years older than Aaron Burr. I wasn't expecting that. Cougar. So those are my notes so far. Let's see what else I can tell y'all. We can do the weekly wrap up. I have done very well with my reading this week. I have completed one book, but I have read, so Monday I read 93 pages, but on Tuesday and Wednesday I read over 150 pages both of those days. Today I don't know if I'm going to read over 100 pages. I'm currently at 54 pages read, and I still will be reading in Piranesi, which I'll probably be around 25 to 30 pages. So yeah, I think there's a chance that I could get to 100 pages read today, but we're not reading over 150 pages today. That's not happening, because that took me a lot to read 42 pages in there that I just don't see how possible it would be for the others. Sneak peek for next week's vlog. Most likely going to be focusing on this book still. We will be doing a different mood read. I will tell you it's not going to be any of those. Don't get your hopes up, but look, they're still standing. Our flag is still there, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that those books stay there. But that is all for the vlog. There's no theme to next week's vlog, by the way. It's just going to be reading my TBR books. It's just going to be a basic reading vlog, no theme, like this week's theme was reading the shortest book on my TBR. So yes, I did complete a book this week. I did not haul any books this week. Good on me, not spending money. We love that. But as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. I hope you are having a happy Valentine's Day, because this one is airing on Valentine's Day. So if you made it through this whole video, leave a heart emoji in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!